Let's do this. Best of 5. Melodic versus Sharp. This Sharp actually stepped up to 1v1 Drees in Drees' debut recently. Yeah, that didn't go too well for Sharp. Drees did take that. 3-0 if I'm not mistaken. So Melodic's going to try and replicate. Let's go Forbidden Temple. Melodic says, I've watched your show matches since I was gold. That's crazy. Wait, what? I wrote wait, no way, haha. Apparently, that was not allowed. Oh, hey, Drees. How's it going, man? Speaking of. Yeah, let's see if Melodic can take a W in his debut. I mean, most debut players recently have been doing really well. Sharp is 4 and 6 in Johnny White show matches. Really? Okay. It's a reasonable score. Obviously, could be a lot better. Yeah, remember last time I was trying to figure out if Louisiana State University was a thing. Sharp. Still repping his uni team. He's done quite well to space Melodic off that ball, and that's a decent shot as well. Sharp thinking about dunking it in, but Melodic's put it off his own post. Sharp with the fake challenge, comes away with possession again. Melodic sticking to him like glue though. Oh, he missed the boost steal at the mid though. That's going to give Sharp some time, but he really didn't get too much out of that flick. And he didn't get much out of that one either. Melodic was under pressure at the start of the game, but he's hung on, and he's going to open the scoring. 420 into the game, or 420 remaining in the game, with 420 in the prize pool as well. You're suing me with Twitch Prime. That's a first. I've never been sued with Twitch Prime before. Good luck to you, my friend. Hey, Rip the Dreams, thanks for the 100 bits, man. He says, here's the time for our idea for 1v1 versus Scrub versus Jesse with comms open. Love you, Johnny and Scrub. Bring on the toxicity, Scrub. Jesse isn't ready. And he said he could beat you. We've had a lot of Jesse versus Scrub show matches in the past. Has Jesse ever beaten Scrub on my stream? I know he's beaten Scrub on, like, on Scrub's stream before. Don't know if he's ever beaten him on my stream. Well, he's beaten him in games, I think, but he's never beaten him in a series, right? You threw? Okay. Unfortunately, not surprising. And I did like the idea. Scrub, somebody actually, well, it was Rip the Dreams, he had this idea that we could do a Scrub versus Jesse show match where you both join. I'll join a Discord call with both of you. That's a fantastic save by Melodic there. Very nicely done. Oh, is he going to get it? Yes, he is! Okay, we have to take another look at this. Sharp almost had the demo here. Melodic managed to sneak away from him. Let's take another look at this. Oh, he just jumped in time. He just jumped in time there. His car kind of teleported, it seems. But yeah, Scrub, somebody was saying that I should hop in Discord with both of you with face cams on. And then I could put both of your face cams on the screen while you're both playing the 1v1, so people can see both of the reactions to everything that's happening. I imagine it would be pretty funny. Like, Scrub scores a goal and he's just laughing, and then Jesse slams his desk on the other side of the screen. Like, that would be amazing. That's the kind of content that Twitch would die for. But we'll see. Maybe we can make it happen. We will see. Melodic's back in the game meanwhile. Just a little left to right and snuck the ball past Sharp. Sharp is completely all in on that challenge there and did not make contact. Can anyone join the Fusion tourney? Well, yes, technically anyone can join. Anyone can sign up for the Fusion qualifier, but I will only be accepting the 32 most deserving teams of those spots. Like, there's not going to be a random wildcard team thrown in there of platinum players who think they can make a deep run. Like, I'm getting tons of tweets like this and people DMing me saying, hey, we'd love to have a chance at this. Our team's never been given any chances to play top teams before. Please give us this opportunity. Diamond 3, by the way. And I'm thinking, oh, come on, man. Don't make me feel bad for making a good decision. Oh, what a save by Melodic, man. He's really quite creative with these stops. That's, I think, the third time he's done this game. Just as Sharp thinks he's tried the top corner, Melodic comes flying in for the ball off his own crossbar. Yeah, guys, anyone can sign up for Fusion, but it's going to be tough to choose which teams get the last few spots for sure. Teams with RLCS players, RLRS players, Spring Series players, you know, European Invitational players. They're all getting auto accepted, but once it gets down to like the final 5 or 6 spots, it's going to be a bit harder. CRL players. Oh, that's a beautiful shot by Melodic. That is a beautiful shot. No, CRL is not. CRL results will not be used to decide who gets into the league. So obviously CRL is a place where team lineups are limited. No pro teams play in CRL. Obviously there are some, you know, a few decent players in CRL. Sharp, be careful, man. That's your goal. Like Sharp plays in CRL, of course. Top level player for sure. But when I think, well, Sharp's a good example. His CRL team did sign up for Fusion, but when deciding whether or not they're going to get accepted, only their results against other teams who are either in Fusion already or who are also applied to Fusion. Those are the only results that are relevant. You know, like beating another CRL team is not relevant in the discussion for Fusion qualifiers. They ripped the Dream Sex in 2 on tier 1.
And get to see a team be broken down to all game styles.
Yeah, it should be really interesting, man. Should be really interesting. I'm definitely really excited by the community reaction to Fusion because it's really outlandish and different. You never really know how people are going to react to it. But so far it seems like everybody's just super hyped about it. It's been a, you know, really cool really cool build up to the event on Twitter and Reddit, etc. Lots of discussion, tons of discussion. I've never seen this much discussion about a tournament before it happens. But I guess that's partly due to the fact that we had we had signups through social media rather than on a website, for example. I think most other tournaments you just sign up on the website, but we decided to do it different with, we're doing everything different with Fusion pretty much, so thought why not. Melodic certainly deserved this game 1 win. He's had a couple of cheeky mind games, he's had some phenomenal goalkeeping, and he's, you know, played a solid game all around, even had a couple of clips. Sharp started off the stronger of the 2 players, but it's been completely in Melodic's favour since then. Looks like he's well at home in the show match environment already. Sharp's gonna have his work cut out for him. You know, Sharp's really in a tough spot every time he comes on stream these days. First he comes on stream and play against Dries, who was top 10 at the time. Still is, I believe. And now he has to come on stream to play against Melodic, who's top 10. So, I mean, he's facing some grinders. He's playing against some players who are really putting the hours in to ranked and trying to get good at the game mode. So yeah, I think even though Sharp does have the stream experience, he still has to be the underdog for these matchups. Am I streaming the qualifiers for Fusion? Yeah, I will be. I'll be streaming the qualifiers for Fusion. Also, I don't know if it's been I don't know if any of the other casters for Fusion have talked about this, but they will also be streaming qualifier matches for Fusion on their own streams. There's not going to be any like official announcement for that. I forgot to tell them that they can talk about that. Actually, they can. What day is the 1s, 2s, and 3s tournaments for Fusion? Every single day of the week, AJ. So I think on the website it'll tell you that the tournament is Monday, Tuesday. Well, it's every day of the last week of the month for NA. 25th, I'm gonna say, till 31st of May. I think that's the last week of May. So, oh, Sharp trying to go with that there. I had to watch to see if that would go in. It's a good attempt, but didn't quite get it in. So yeah, AJ, the way that it's going to work is that every day the series will, the first series on stream will be a 3v3. Will be one of the matches from the 3v3 bracket quarterfinals on Monday, followed by one of the matches from the 2v2 bracket, followed by one of the matches from the 1v1 bracket. So every day there will be a 3s, 2s, and then 1 series. Obviously, on the Sunday, last day of the tournament, it'll be all 3 of the grand finals, one after another, if that makes sense. Yeah, there will be one match from every bracket every day, but obviously if, you know, your team don't have a match on that day, you're not playing. So there's guaranteed that you'll have at least one day off, I believe. Because out of the... Yeah, you can only be in 2, or you know, you can only be on 3 separate days max from the quarterfinals. And there's 4 quarterfinals days, so... Yeah, one of those days every team will get a day off, for sure. The semifinals, obviously, less likely. If you made both, then... If you made more than one semifinal, you're probably going to have to play on both days, but we'll see. See how it works. Alright, a better start for Sharp again. He's hung on there against Melodic's offense. And this time he has punished him on the counter-attack. He missed the last open net, but he did miss this one. Can we see a Vitality send out for ones? Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see, you know, who teams send out for ones, twos, because there's no restrictions of who teams are allowed to send out. I've talked about this in the stream in the past, but AJ, are you serious? I answered your question elaborately. AJ just messaged me on Steam and said, did you just not see my message, or are you ignoring me on purpose? AJ, I answered you in detail. Were you not listening? Go back and watch the VOD. Yeah, anyway, it's going to be interesting to see who people send out for ones, because, you know, if you get clapped in the first match, or the first ones game in the qualifier, then ones comes up again. Teams are allowed to send out a different player for that ones match. And the same thing in the ones bracket, and the twos bracket for that matter. It's all single elim. So let's say, you know, best of 7, game 1 doesn't go very well for one of the teams in the 1v1. They can send out somebody different for game 2. Like you can have a, you know, an interchangeable lineup. Ah, you had a different question. Okay. AJ asking is what are you asking, is 12 Titans coming back? You said do 12 Titans again. Well, 12 Titans is not my thing. It's League of Rockets thing, and I could definitely not do as good of a job of it as League of Rockets does, because his production quality is the best. It just is simply the best in Rocket League. But, you know, I've got my own Salt Mine ones tournament plans for this year, so we will be doing ones tournament later in the year. Apologies for the few people who will be complaining that I'm not casting much of this game. I have been watching, and I'm waiting to see if Melodic's going to come back in this one like he did in game 1. But yeah, there's a lot to talk about these days with Fusion going on. It's tough to split my attention between casting. Oh, that's amazing. Look at this by Sharp. He just baited Melodic in beautifully for this one. Makes it look like an air dribble, and instead he just bounces the ball into the top corner after landing. Perfect placement to go ahead by 2, and this is a much better job than the first game. Sharp lost his lead pretty early in game number 1. Boys, he ran too far away from this one though. No, he hasn't. Great control. He's had to use a lot of boost to save that, and he did see Melodic coming fast enough. It is open for now, but Melodic's hit the bar. Sharp's going to go for it anyway, just to make sure. Melodic's coming at him again, and that's just too good. Melodic slots it in off the crossbar. Now Sharp will be kicking himself in that play. He did so well to scoop the ball off his goal line just moments ago, and he'll be wondering, should he have gone up for that previous shot, the one that was definitely hitting the crossbar? You've got to think that he knew it was hitting the bar. He just didn't want to leave it, but it was a better idea to leave it. Melodic's missed his wave dash landing here. Sharp kind of gives the ball straight back to him. Not playing a composed ending to the game, Sharp. Giving a possession away is not a good idea against someone like Melodic, and I think he scored it. Oh, he just slots it in off the post. But Sharp, again, careless. Both those goals could have been prevented. That time he just let his guard down. I mean, both goals really, he let his guard down. He got demoed while he was ball carrying on the previous goal. Now he's just been beaten to the ball because he didn't see Melodic coming. He has to pay more attention to Melodic's approaches. Sharp going for the long shots at the end of this game. That's going to bounce in field for him though. Oh, Melodic's really gifted him one here. Oh, he tried to wave dash, he's saying. Yeah, right here. Oh, he tried to wave dash onto the boost. I mean, either way, I don't think it's a good idea to be running into the corner there. Melodic's clear was obviously coming off the side wall, not the corner wall, so it was going to bounce back into the middle no matter what. And if that's the case, then you can't be running into the corner for the boost. It is as simple as that. Sharp's got another chance here to close out the game. Melodic looking a bit sporadic with his positioning. Sharp smashes him into the goal, and that should do it here. 2-goal game. We had Sharp not paying enough attention as he lost his lead, but he's got it back now because Melodic's defensive positioning was a bit careless
if both teams
as
can
well.
send out any player for the one series who gets priority. Say one team loses G1 and want to change players, then the other team likes a matchup, so they also switch players.
There won't be any. It's going to be basically blind picks for every single game. So the way that all the matches in Fusion are going to work is that teams are going to have to tell the admin who their what their lineup is going to be for any given game. And you can't deviate from that. So, for example, in the qualifier, game 1 is a 3v3, of course. So if a team has 4 players in the roster, they have to tell the admin what 3 players are going to be playing for the 3v3. And that is who they have to play with. They're not informed of who the other team are going with. You just have to blind pick it. Then in the 2v2 round, again, both teams have to inform the admin what lineup they're going to be playing with. And they have to stick to that. And then for the 1v1, same thing. You have to inform the admin what player is going to be playing for your team and stick to that, and so on and so on. Then when it gets to game 4, if necessary, like let's say that the team that's losing the series picks 1v1 again, then they'll inform the admin, okay, we're picking 1v1 and this is going to be our player. The other team are informed that 1v1 has been chosen and they have to choose a player. They're not informed of what player is going to be playing the 1v1 for the other team. So yeah, it's basically going to be blind picks every single time. Oh, he got in. There we go. Sharp made it into game 3 here. He was stuck in the main menu for a second. That was a much better showing from him. There was a moment in the middle of that game, actually towards the end, where Sharp looked a bit dodgy, and it was for exactly that reason. He just didn't pay enough attention to what Melodic is doing off the ball. We didn't see him coming in for a demo on the first goal for Melodic's comeback, and then he didn't see him coming in for a challenge on the next one. So that's really the main objective now for Sharp in this game. And that's so interesting that Melodic is intentionally losing this kickoff in such a way. The fast kickoff approach. Is he going to do this again, I wonder? Kind of works out. Huge flick by Melodic. Sharp has jumped up for quite a lot of these high shots. I don't know if Melodic has noticed. If he has picked up on that, then he may start to intentionally shoot the ball way high on the goal just to see if Sharp is going to pre-jump and waste boost. Melodic forced to play the ball early. He couldn't see where Sharp was. He's missed the boost steal and the goal as well. That's a bit careless. Oh, but he's actually caught Sharp out of position again, and that's another one of those times where Sharp hasn't seen Melodic coming in for a play on the ball. And even if he does see him here, it's going to be hard. What a save by Sharp. That was not an easy one to prevent. Still on the ropes. Hey guys, I did want to explain just briefly what the main tournament process will be. You might have guessed it is exactly the same as the qualifier. Before every game in the main event, it was going to be pure speculation as to what teams are going to be playing. What do you call it? Every single match. Every single game, I should say. So let's say round 1, quarterfinal, the 1v1 bracket is Vitality versus SRG. Neither team has to announce to anyone who's going to be playing until the admin knows and has locked it in. And then they'll inform me, and I'll inform the stream. That's like when the players will be informed. Once selections are locked in, once a final decision has been given to the admin by both teams, there's no going back. You can't change which player you're going to put out there. So game 1 will be confirmed. Then again, it'll be the same process. So game 2, if teams want to make a change, they have to just inform the admin and say, okay, we're changing to this player for the next game. And the other team can do likewise. And it's only once the picks are locked in that both teams will get to see who the other team has chosen for the next game. You know what I mean? Melodic is not a ball chaser, he's a hyper chaser. He's not really been rushing too many challenges, to be honest. He's been playing according to the rules quite a lot. Oh my goodness, Sharp with the pre-jump here in the complete wrong direction. And he's totally messed this one up. I mean, that touch to put the ball into the corner in the first place was far from ideal. You know, just bouncing the ball off the back wall there is not what he wanted to do. He tried to roll it into the corner. But to pre-jump here, it really shows how jumpy Sharp is at times. I mean, I said it already. He's tried to jump up and save multiple shots that have been hitting the crossbar. So he has to try and calm down under pressure. But he's only back by 1 here. And that kickoff will get him another possession play. Sharp is taking so many long shots as well. Maybe a few too many for my liking, because Melodic is sitting deep enough now. He knows that Sharp could just be shooting long on any of these opportunities. And Sharp really needs to try and abuse that by slow playing his offense like this, because now he's using the space that Melodic is likely to give to him. And there's Melodic saying stop. He's not a fan of these air dribble bumps. So much so that he's decided that he's not even going to try and save this shot at all. He's just going to run away from this. He doesn't want to get bumped that much. Sharp replies with a no. He's got no intention of stopping. And I wouldn't either if I was as good as Sharp is. Didn't get the takeoff he wanted here though. Still trying to keep this attack alive, and you know, it really is still alive. Melodic's got to be careful. Oh my goodness, he just showed no respect to Sharp's shooting ability here. He just wanted Sharp to leave. He's thinking, well, Sharp's bound to leave at some point, but no, Sharp is just going to stick around and shoot that because it's point blank range. And he called Melodic's bluff there. Melodic may have been closer to the ball with more boost, but he didn't go for it. Sharp did. And he's up by 1. Complete contrast in defensive styles, with Sharp jumping early at just about everything and Melodic waiting on just about everything. Just when it comes to goalkeeping. You've got to find a balance in between, or else you will concede goals. Guys, I'm a bit behind on the alerts. I appreciate those that are coming in. Let me do shoutouts after this series is over. Sharp turning this one around in a good way for himself. He has significantly improved on his vision. That's a phenomenal touch. And he's going to get the goal as well. You know, I criticised Sharp at the end of the last game for not keeping an eye on Melodic in his approaches, in his challenges, in his demo attempts. This game has been a night and day improvement. He's seen Melodic coming just about every time, ever since the first demo that landed. And now he's even going to sneak in one of his own. That's a pretty smart position to be doing one in. Now the time wasting will commence. Sharp running down the clock here. And he has baited in Melodic and takes a 4-goal lead. Nice and easy. And that's just frustration. Melodic knew that Sharp was trying to waste time. He wanted to pressure the ball, wanted to try and force Sharp to lose control, but he's got way too close. Sharp is going to go 8-3 up now. That is all she wrote for game 3. You know, I said he was the underdog going into this one, but he's really taken control of this series. Melodic slowed down. He doesn't look as confident as he did before, and that open net tells a story of how Melodic's really deteriorated here. Still, you know, has all the tools of a successful comeback in the series. I think it all starts with more pressure on Sharp, because yes, Sharp is shooting long a lot of the time, but that doesn't mean that Melodic has to back off all the way all the time. When Sharp does adapt and does start to control the ball and dribble, those are the moments where Melodic maybe needs to be a bit closer to Sharp, put more pressure on him, try and make him misplay. You know, I said earlier on I don't want to see so many long shots from Sharp, but it looks like they have done something for him, and that's they forced Melodic to back up significantly in his positioning. He's retreating quite far on almost every play, almost expecting Sharp to shoot long. And that is giving Sharp a lot of time on the ball, a lot of time to just compose himself and line up his play and make sure that he does what he wants to be doing. Melodic doesn't look confident in his own shooting ability either. No banger off the wall there, which would have definitely been helpful for his confidence going into the next game. One more game, says Sharp. The trash talk with a quick chat. That's creative, actually. I like that. One more game. Melodic's definitely open for at least 2. I say at least. There can only be maximum 2, so that doesn't really make sense. A Mega Pikazard, thanks for swinging by, man. I appreciate the kind words. You're most welcome. Thank you, by the way, to Chili Willy for the 9-month Prime. Also, Vexaz for the brand new Prime. Jan the Mans for gifting 5 subs. Welcome to all the new gifted subs. We've also got Scary Y with a 31-month tier 1. Welcome back, mate. Why is it so hard to sub on mobile? It is indeed difficult to sub on mobile. Would recommend subbing a laptop instead. That's a great shot by Sharp. Look at this. Melodic didn't even think that Sharp was planning to shoot this ball. Oh, that's cheeky. That is very cheeky. Melodic thought that Sharp was just trying to go for the boost steal here. Like he actually had his eyes on greater things. And he should get a 2-goal lead here with another kickoff. Sharp is starting to dominate the kickoff battle. And Melodic is falling apart. Just parked the car near the center circle for this play in pure frustration. Ryan Dalian, thanks to the 2-month tier 1, by the way. Welcome back. I did answer that question. I explained the format for Fusion a little bit for you. Instant Limp, thanks to the 21-month Prime. Welcome back to you. And welcome to the stream to Kekra and Barbles, the brand new Prime and tier 1 subs respectively. Okay, Melodic score here on the counter. He's tried to dunk it in, and that again looks like more frustration than anything else. Hardly a calculated effort, but my goodness, Sharp has made a meal of the open net at the other end of the field. Both players not making the best of those opportunities. Oh my goodness, Sharp just almost let the ball roll into his goal. I think he got surprised here by how close the goal line was. He saw, wait a minute, that's almost it, I better hit that. Melodic was right there. Melodic giving Sharp some props for his kickoff. Let's take a look and see what's happening here. Okay, Melodic's won it, so really no problems to notice. Nice ball chase by Sharp. Melodic quickly turns around. He's got some space to work with, but shoots pretty early there. Sharp does well enough for this control. That's a pretty good hustle in at the halfway line though by Melodic. Strong 50-50 and a very smart bump as well. That was really clever because he had the boost advantage in that play, so he's more likely to reach the ball first after any kind of contact. He can accelerate again quickly. Sharp cannot. Sharp's got space on the right hand side. He will shoot long again, and that is just straight in. And I don't think Melodic read that one all that well. No wave dash there for Melodic meant that he was really not moving very fast at all. Yeah, he just misread that completely. He thought it was hitting the bar, but it's just gone in. Either way, I think Melodic was going to be in a pretty awkward position. It's going to be tough to stop whatever Sharp followed up with. Sharp gives away possession with the pre-flip attempt, and oh, Melodic's just completely missed the open net again, and he is completely all in with some crazy dunks afterwards. I mean, this is just an experience, I think, because he knows he's missed an open net there and he feels like he's owed a goal, and he just goes for every single shot opportunity that comes afterwards to try and get that goal that he feels he deserves in that play, or he feels like he should have had. You know, neither of those dunk attempts were intelligent. Neither of them were, I would say, a good risk to reward ratio. You know, this is the advantage that Sharp did come into this show match with. He does have the experience. He knows how to adapt mid-series. Melodic yet to have to do that. That's a better shot though. He's back within one. Top Cheese says, I'm surprised he even won one game. Oh my goodness, that's toxic. What did Melodic ever do to you? Is there some drama that I'm not aware of? Well, hey, he might win another game, we'll see. He's got to be careful. Oh my goodness, he's done it again. He's just totally misread the bounce. I mean, this looked pretty in to me. It looks like it's just going into the top corner pretty much. Yeah, even if Melodic doesn't hit this, it's, I think, just staying on the goal line. I mean, he's put it in his own goal, but I don't understand why he's left that to bounce off the inside of the crossbar in the first place. That's the second time this game that Melodic has totally misread the size of his own goal. And he's making life difficult for himself. Sharp gets the boost, but he doesn't get to stay alive in the play. Melodic sneaks in with a demo. He might try and go for another one here. He will, and he snags it. That's a really nice bump by Melodic. Sharp driving up on the wall to try and get a nice strong line of attack on that ball. And Melodic still got him. Really nicely done. Still plenty of time left for Melodic. This is where he needs to calm down because he is only trailing by a goal. And yeah, he's had a couple of misplays. He's had a couple of squandered opportunities, but if he's going to stay calm, then he should be okay here. That's a nice shot though by Sharp. Again, Melodic underestimates his accuracy, and he's back to the 2-goal deficit. At least it looks like he has figured out the kickoff game a bit more. He's pushing the ball across the face of the face of it a bit more now, and he's seeing more success. Very nice flick there by Melodic. Saw Sharp coming in, puts it over him. I'm interested to see if Melodic's going to flip to the left here. Well, he does go right, and he does end up losing somewhat. Yeah, very much a loss here on the kickoff. Sharp in full control. Looks like Sharp is just a lot stronger on that side. When it gets to the center circle. And Melodic does have the boost here. Sharp needs to be careful. Oh, that's bounced off the wall though. Melodic's in an awkward position. Does well. And Sharp does grab the possession for himself. Oh, he's missed it on the back wall though. Both players being a bit careless here. And Melodic is the one who's going to profit from it. Just snuck the ball past this challenge. Now, this was a bit risky to try and chip the ball past Sharp there. But, I mean, he looks like a genius because it worked out. It would have looked really stupid if Sharp got a piece of that and scored. But it has worked. There you go. See, Melodic pushes the ball across the face of it and he wins. I think most of the kickoffs where he's done that, he has been the victor in them. It's when he's trying to do the hooking style he's losing. Not sure if he's picked up on that, but I mean, I think he has because he's tried to do a lot more of those this game. It looks like Boost will win the day again for Melodic. He just had more in the tank there. Let's keep an eye on Melodic again. This time he does go for a hooking style and he loses. See, it's quite simple, really. Sharp is a lot stronger on that side. If you're Melodic, you can't try and go across the face of the ball and then flip back the way you came from. So right here, basically, I'm calling it. If he flips left, he wins. If he flips right, he loses. There you go. He flipped right and he lost. So I guess I'm just 300 IQ on the kickoff for now. Yeah, right now Sharp is just doing a really, really all-in pushing kickoff. He's trying to force the ball across to the opposite side that he's spawning in. So whenever Melodic does a slight hooking variation, he's getting crushed. But if he does a less all-in push, he's going to win. Let's watch and see if it continues to play out in that way. Never mind, it's a straight spawn, nothing's going to happen. This one's usually the nothing kickoff, no kickoff goals here. Unless you're playing left-hander, then the ball you bounce off the ball and he scores. It's the only player I've ever seen been able to consistently score kickoff goals on that one, on that spawn. You know, besides the kickoff conversation, Melodic's having a better end of the game here. He's got Sharp exactly where he wants him. Oh, that was sneaky though. Sharp is the one who dives in for the demo. Can he equalize with not long left in the game? It's a low flick. It's a pretty speedy one though. Gotta give him that. Melodic's fake challenge does the job. He's got to stay in that pocket though. He's giving Sharp a lot of space here. Sharp is going to try and punish him. Got Melodic in an awkward position, but he's hit the bar twice. Nice pre-flip by Sharp to keep the pressure on. 15 seconds left. Melodic backed up into a corner, but he does have enough boost to make this work, I feel. He beat Sharp to the ball. That should be it now for Melodic. He should be able to send us to game 5, and he does with a 9th goal. Well played by Melodic, even though he was under a lot of pressure here. He's managed to find a way to get back into this one. Now, the fact that he questioned the kickoff again. I mean, there's 2 times in this game, and it's really interesting for me, the kickoff battle that we're seeing here, because Sharp scored a kickoff goal. Melodic asked in chat, what is your kickoff? And then I think Melodic made an adaptation to his kickoff and started doing a lot better in that matchup. And later on, he lost another kickoff, and he said, what is it with your kickoff again? So it makes me wonder, does he know what he did to counter Sharp's kickoff? Because he might not know. He might have just like accidentally countered it. I don't know. I'll have to ask him after the series, I guess. But what I can tell you is that the reason he started to win is because he's just basically switched the direction he's flipping it. That's why he's winning. It's as simple as that. Or that's why he's winning more. But we're going to have to keep a very, very keen eye on this last game to see exactly what goes on for Melodic. So, I mean, here he's got to go right. Simple as that. And he does go right, and he should be fine. There we go. So, I mean, it so far seems like my theory remains true. Sharp hasn't made any adaptations to his kickoff. He's doing the same one every single time. It's a very solid one. He's really good at it. But it does have its weaknesses. And if Melodic can keep on punishing that, then he should be able to take control after the majority. Sharp has control for now. Melodic in an awkward position. Oh, he just couldn't save this. And I'm sorry to do it to him, but we have to watch this from his perspective one more time. I mean, he put himself in a difficult position. There's no denying it. He was very much in the corner there before the shot came in. Oh, he's just about managed to go even with Sharp here. Now, that's surprising to me because he tried to go left on that one. I didn't expect the Melodic to come out on top if he did flip to the left, but I mean, it was a pretty dead even kickoff. Both players hitting the ball just about as well as each other. Oh, that's beautiful. Melodic with a top corner shot. And it just sinks in perfectly with that goal explosion. Really an ideal explosion for that shot, really. When is the next freestyle 1v1? I'm not sure. Keen to get a Vampel on for one, because he's got some really entertaining plays. Definitely, you know, definitely have to get him on at some point. And Melodic going to equalize here. 50-50 in his favor as Sharp comes in sideways. And that's the danger of ever making a challenge side on when your opponent is goal side. They're just more likely to win it. Unless you've got a clean win on the race. It's become quite interesting though. This the kickoff meta is really evolving now. It was quite linear, it was quite samey for a while. Now Sharp is actually changing up his kickoff. I think he's realized that Melodic's trying to counter him. And this is where it's just going to get wild. Like, neither player's going to have any idea what to expect. Because, I mean, when you're playing a 1v1 and both players are doing this exact same kickoff every time and it's kind of going even, nobody's likely to change, so you're just going to get the same every single time. But if one person's winning a lot and then the other person manages to change it so that they start winning, then all of a sudden they're going to be doing all kinds of different things, most likely. It's very interesting to watch. Melodic still in the driver's seat. Just under 3 minutes remaining. That's a nice little boost grab there to keep Sharp at half. And he has managed to keep Sharp at bay on the majority of ground plays this game. It's a smart pre-flip by Melodic. Oh, has Sharp actually just given him an opportunity? Yes, he has. Melodic takes it, but it's nice recovery by Sharp to sneak that one away at the far post. No demo in the back corner for Sharp. You've got to wonder if that's what he was thinking about in that play. Sharp's playing extremely conservatively here with the boost. Does Melodic know how much he's got left? I don't think he does, and Sharp will accelerate that one into the top corner. And Melodic, a bit careless there. Fake challenge is really not doing anything. And he'll wish that he just put his head down and went for that ball, because you've never got a chance to save a flick from that range. Sharp is just too accurate with them. It's interesting to note that most of Sharp's flicks have been the good old-fashioned front diagonal. None of this reverse nonsense he's thinking. We don't get to see too much of those these days because everybody seems to have switched to the reverse 45 flicks, but the forward flicks are, I think, just as deadly if they're placed well. They can be just as effective. The only detriment to forward flicks is that your landing is a bit further up the field, so you're technically in a worse position to follow up on whatever happens. Okay, Melodic just totally whiffed there. He tried to play that one off his back wall with a glancing blow. Missed it entirely. Sharp with the big dunk coming in. Melodic stopped him, and he does keep control of his back corner boost. Now he might go for a demo on the back wall here. Sharp's got to be careful. He does get away from it, but now Melodic's just walked the ball into the near post area, and that is the weirdest goal you're going to see all day. But this is what happens when Sharp is going to concede the position just to keep himself alive and, away from any danger when it comes to demos. He does leave the walk in wide open. Melodic just takes the ball straight into the middle with him. Sharps again managed to sideswipe him, and he wants to bump. Here he comes. Melodic's flown off the crossbar though, just like he did several times in game number 1. And he shows one of the best ways to counter the air dribble bump, especially if the opponent's coming in quickly. There's no way that you're going to be able to bump them into the ball, because it'll just be a double demo at best. You have to avoid them. You have to get there fast. That was beautiful though. Melodic gives himself a 2-goal advantage. Sharp might just go for it again though, and he will. Melodic doesn't have time to use the crossbar on this play, and he will get dunked on. So this time it was different because Melodic went for that little fake challenge, and that meant that he didn't have the time to run all the way back into his goal, out the crossbar, and make the save like he did before. Sharp back within 1. I would love to see him go for another air dribble bump, honestly, because Melodic is just more likely to tilt against that. He's more likely to mess it up, the defense of it, in the last few seconds, and Sharp is going to go for it. Pretty smart, honestly. It's a difficult thing to defend against. And Melodic has defended it well, and look where he's coming from. Not for the first time. He really has put on a clinic of how to use the crossbar of his own goal to help him set up counterattacks in this series. I feel like it's appropriate that he wins the series with these plays, because that's really something that impressed me the most in game number 1 for Melodic's playbook. I think it's a smart play for Sharp to try and utilize the bumps to force the issue at the end of the game here, because you've got to go all in. You've got to pick whatever your best, hardest to defend play is, and Sharp definitely today did look pretty deadly with those. So I think, when it comes to shot selection, you can't really fault him there. Melodic's defense was just insane against the third last one and the very last one. Yeah, GG's guys. GG's to Sharp and Melodic. Really appreciate them coming on and putting on a show for us. Fantastic series. What I think of a Pulse 6 man's freestyle? I don't know what you mean. I feel like streaming every time I got bumped. Yeah, man, it's pretty tilting. So it's another reason why I think Sharp making that play at the end of the game is a really good idea. Because if you do come back from 2 goals down with air dribble bumps, oh man, do you have the mental advantage when it comes to overtime? You are going to have a huge edge.